As you may or may not know, my wife and I just got back from Vegas. It was a great trip. We ate, we drank, we had a blast. But then we got home and looked at the credit card, and I gotta say, it doesn't matter how much fun you're having, $25 for a drink is a ripoff. Frickin' Vegas. I hate getting ripped off, and so do the lads over at Harry's. They spent years watching the razor blade companies rip people off and said, no more. Not all heroes wear capes, my friends, and they want to prove that they're legit by offering you hot dogs a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/RTG. I've been telling you about them for months, and I'm genuinely proud to have Harry's as a sponsor of this show. I wasn't kidding. The plastic, futuristic-looking crap razors you get at the store are overpriced and they're poor quality. Harry's blades are crisp, clean, and classy. They're the kind of razor you'd expect your grandpa to have on his bathroom counter. And most importantly, they work. Shave after shave, they're so smooth, they're precise. I used to go through the crappy store blades all the time, but Harry's are built to last. And they're not just better quality than the other names, they're more affordable. And they deliver. Just set your schedule, and for as little as $2, new blades, shaving creams, lotions, everything you need, right to your door when you need it. I genuinely cannot think of a reason not to try Harry's. And I'm not just saying this because they're sponsors. They're the best shaving supplies I've ever used. Try them out, and if you're not happy, your shave's on them. And unlike the other subscriptions, they're really easy to cancel if you want to too, which is a nice bonus, but believe me, you're not going to want to cancel. Getting ripped off isn't funny. Switch to Harry's. Get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/RTG. That's harrys.com/RTG for a $3 trial set.
Where are we? I got a feeling we're not in Brooklyn no more.
Luigi! Daisy! You better not hurt us!
They're brothers. They're plumbers.
Oh no. Mario! Luigi!
They're on the trail of a kidnapped princess and a mystical meteorite.
It's incredible!
That gives anyone who possesses it the power to rule the universe.
Get me the rock! Come and get it, lizard breath!
Now, they must rescue the princess.
Luigi!
Alien species escaping.
And make it safely back.
Later, alligator.
To our world.
Are you alright?
Before time runs out.
Save him!
Super Mario Brothers. This ain't no game.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Remember the Game. It is my retro gaming podcast where every week a buddy of mine and I sit down and we geek out about the games we played back in the day. My name is Adam Blank. Thank you so much for listening. This week it is episode 90, and we are not talking about a game we played back in the day. We are talking about a movie based on a game that we played back in the day. My pal Tyler is here, and we are talking about the original, iconic, infamous, legendary Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am not a film critic. If you listen to the show with any regularity, you may know I don't even watch a lot of movies, but I did a Sonic the Movie episode a few weeks ago that was pretty positive. People seem to not hate it. This one is going to be the opposite. Hopefully you still don't hate it, but it is not going to be positive. That fucking movie. I have waited 27 years, just a quick math in my head, almost 27 years to get some shit off my chest about the Mario Brothers movie, and today is the day we are going to do it. My buddy Tyler is here. We loved it as kids. Do we love it as adults? I think I've already spoiled the answer to that question, but we'll get into that. Before I do that, I have to ramble, you guys know, and I've got a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. If you want to skip all this, look at the description box. You can just skip to the Mario Brothers movie. I don't know if anyone actually skips anymore. One person complained, so I started putting them in. No one's complained since. Anyway, if you skip, I don't care. I got lots to talk about, including some really exciting news about Mario, and everyone wants to hear, so let's fucking go. First off, we are launching a new podcast, Remember the Game Expansion Pass. I explained it in great detail yesterday on my State of the Podcast address. You can find it on your podcast feed. It's only about 15 minutes long, so I will not get into the full details of it again. But if you are a Patreon supporter, you can now get access to Remember the Game Expansion Pass. It is a weekly secondary show that goes live every Sunday, beginning this Sunday. I'll be reviewing modern games, do rankings, top 10 lists, retrospectives, a monthly Q&A, whatever. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. My first episode that goes live this weekend is going to be, I'm going to rank every core Mario game there is. I'm talking Game Boy, all the Nintendo systems, right up to the current Game Boy Advance, DS. If it is a core Mario game, not the sports titles and all that shit, but the core Mario games, I'm going to rank them from worst to best. That'll be going live this Sunday. If that interests you, check it out. You get a whole bunch of other stuff. The deadline to get in on our prize draw is this Sunday as well. Patreon.com/remember the game. It's $2. There's your plug. I will shut up and stop talking about it, but please really consider it. And check out the State of Play or the State of Podcast address if you want more details. And sign up just like Josh did. Josh from Derby, UK. I assume that's United Kingdom and not one of the states that I have forgotten because I don't know the American. I don't know anywhere. I know Canada. I couldn't even name all the capitals in Canada. I know Alberta. And I know most of Saskatchewan because there's only like 4 places there, and that is it. But anyway, Josh from the UK signed up. Cheerio, Josh, or however it is. I don't know how to say hello where you're from, but I think I nailed the accent there. Anyway, thanks for signing up, dude. Thanks for the support. Really appreciate it. Thank you for listening to the show. I have been staying hella busy during this lockdown. I just dropped a hella, I know. I have been staying busy during this lockdown. I hope you're all staying safe and staying busy as well. In addition to launching the new podcast expansion pass, I've also started uploading new episodes of Adam Sucks at Video Games. That is my Let's Play series that you can find over at youtube.com/remember the game. If you enjoy watching people play retro games and rant and swear and swear and swear, then you can find that over there. If you listen to my show, you know how I talk. I started an upload. Episode 2 should be going live this morning as this episode drops, and that is I'm playing through Super Mario Bros. 3. So if you want to check that out, go for it. You got nothing else to do right now. If you're looking for something to watch while you are sitting on the toilet, go for it. I plan to record a bunch more in the coming weeks. I've got a whole bunch of games planned out. I'm going to keep uploading some Adam Let's Plays while we've got nothing else to do. Strongly recommend that you don't watch them with kids around unless you don't care that they hear a lot of profanity, because that is what I do. But anyway, so there's over there, so you can check that out. I also ran a second Mario Kart 8 tournament this weekend, and I didn't win this one, which is probably perfect for the concept of wanting to give shout-outs to the winners on the show. Plus, it's just an excuse to play Mario Kart, which is always a good thing. You can never play too much Mario Kart 8. I fucking love that game. But with that said, shout-outs to the winners of the second ever Champion of the Universe Mario Kart 8 tournament here. Remember the game in third place. Bark McHugh, you guys can figure out who that is. In second place for the second straight tournament, Omega, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, my friend. And the winner, and the new champion of the universe, I don't even know how to pronounce this properly, Jacko from the United States of A. So Jacko, Omega, Bark McHugh, congratulations. Thanks to everybody that decided to play. Maybe I'll run another one. I don't know. We had a lot less people playing this one than we did the first one, but I think it's because some people realized that they were just going to get their asses kicked by some of the really good players, and we're like, fuck that. But you got nothing else to do. You're just sitting inside. You're bored anyways. Play Mario Kart. Fuck off. I don't know. Or maybe we'll put a Smash one together. I suck at Smash. I don't know if I want to do that because look at my ass kicked. So anyway, so that's what I've been staying busy with. Let's get to the news. I got some stuff to talk about here. Before I get into the news, a virtual elbow bump, because we're not allowed to shake hands right now, to everyone that reached out to me today on social media and said they remember Video and Arcade Top 10. I mentioned it on my Twitter this morning and my Instagram as well, and just was like, I don't know if anyone else remembers the show. I think it was a Canadian show, so if you didn't grow up here in the frozen field that I live in, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about, but it was like a video game show that was on YTV, which was youth television, and it was just kids would come on and they would play like Super Nintendo games and shit, and then they would have the player, the kid that got the highest score would get like a free copy of the game, and so would someone watching at home, and so would someone in the crowd, and then like they would take the kid that won, and he'd get to go over to the prize wall. Remember? And they would drop the ping pong balls into the garbage can, and you'd reach in and pull out a ping pong ball, and you got a prize that matched the number on your ball. And if they got the red ball, they got to pick any prize they wanted, but no kid ever got the red ball. I would watch and watch and watch, just be like, fuck, get the red ball, and no one ever did. And then Nick would sing, it's letter time, and read letters, and that, oh, fuck yeah. So many people reached out to me saying they remember it. I was like, fucking right, man. Video and Arcade Top 10 was the shit. They should bring that show back. I would have given up one of my Christmas mornings as a kid to get to be on that show. I fucking loved it so much. So Yeah, virtual elbow bump to everyone that brought that shit up and remembered it. Also, it's the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie 30th anniversary. So because this is a movie podcast, I felt like it was right to throw it in there for 5 seconds. Go watch it because it's sick. I fucking love that movie. So yeah, okay. News. Let's get into the news quickly. Fuck you, GameStop. They're still open in some places, at least in the States, and now they're telling their employees to work with plastic bags on their hands so that they don't have to touch anything. It's like, just fucking close. You're making your employees sick. You're making everybody else sick. I think we all realize that this isn't a fucking joke anymore, this virus. So I'm not going to get too into the virus. This is a happy place, but fuck you, GameStop. You're so done. And again, if you work there, I'm very sorry that I'm not trying to put you out of business. I don't want to see you go out of business, but just maybe spruce up your resume because they're fucked. As far as news goes, I went to get the headlines that I wanted to talk about with this Mario thing, and saw another story that I wanted to bring up quick. How do you pronounce it? Is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft? I think it's Ubisoft, the game manufacturer, the game developer, Ubisoft. They're giving away free games on PC via their website just to get people to stay home. And you could call it a PR move or a sales tactic or whatever you want. It's pretty cool. Like, there's some full game. Like, right now, I just saw it, the beginning today, which March 31st. So by the time you guys hear this, it'll have been a day ago. But I think it's available till like April 3rd or 4th. They're giving away Rayman Legends. If you have a PC, you just go to their website, you can download Rayman Legends. And I'm fucking telling you, if you like platformer, even if you half like platformers, go get Rayman Legends. Because it's, first of all, it's free. And second of all, it's fucking awesome. Mark McHugh is up my ass to play that game for like a year. And when I finally did, I went on a comedy tour a couple years ago. It was a 3-week tour, and I downloaded that game, and I 100%ed it in my 3 weeks and fucking loved it. It was so good. So, and they announced that they're going to be giving out more games. They're going to be giving out games from their Just Dance series, games from the Assassin's Creed series. They're going to have a bunch of demos available on consoles as well for all of you regular non-PC Master Race geeks. Sales tactic or not, PR move or not, that's fucking really cool, man. And they've said they're just doing it to try to get people to stay home. And I think that's pretty smart right now. Like, why not cash in on some good PR, get some good headlines, and give people some free video games to play if it means that they won't go out. Fucking don't go out. Just fuck you. Just stay home and play. If you're listening to this, you've got some form of video games, probably. Fucking play your video games. So shout out to Ubisoft. That is awesome. Nintendo. I know everybody wants me to. I got a couple of things to talk about with Nintendo. They dropped a surprise Nintendo Direct last week, just completely out of nowhere. I woke up and saw that there had been a Direct and was like, what the fuck? Just classic Nintendo. The way I understand it, they were going to drop a bigger one, and then obviously with everything that's going on in the world, a lot of the games are getting delayed and stuff, and they just wanted to put something out, so they rolled out this Nintendo Direct. It has some pretty cool games in it. They did say the release dates are subject to change because they're obviously going through some development issues and stuff right now, people working from home and things. But go check it out. If you're a Nintendo fan, you can find it. Just YouTube Nintendo Direct. There's a whole bunch of cool games in there. A couple of the games that stood out to me are they're bringing the BioShock games over, and they are bringing the XCOM games to Switch. And then they also said Borderlands. I know a ton of people that are into Borderlands. It just never scratched my itch, but I'm not an online guy really either. XCOM, maybe. I want to see how much it is because I could get it on my Xbox right now for $20. But I'm really into those tactical games these days, and everyone says that one is like the cream of the crop. And to have it portable sounds pretty rad. And then the BioShock games, when I first saw the trailer for the BioShock games coming to Switch, I was like, fuck yes. But the more I thought about it, the more I was like, Nintendo, we all know that Nintendo charges the Switch tax to put a game that could be old on the Switch. They're going to charge you. Fucking Resident Evil 4 was like $40, and I bought it because I love that game and I wanted it portably. And I love the BioShock games, but the BioShock games are some of the few games where I do care about the graphics more than the portability. I'm usually willing to pay a little bit extra to have my games portable, and I don't care if the graphics are a little bit dumbed down, but BioShock, particularly the first two when you're underwater, the atmosphere is so fucking intense that I don't know, man. If I could get the BioShock collection on my Xbox or my PS4 and play it on my TV with my headphones for $20 or for $50 or $60, I could get them on my Switch and play them in that tiny little handheld thing. That's one of those ones where I'm like, nah, you know what? I think I'll buy it on my PS4 or my Xbox. But it is rad that they're coming to Switch. If you've never played them, cannot recommend them enough, especially if you are into like solo single player shooters. Fuck yeah. Like, they are so good, man. Especially the first two. I thought Infinite was good, but I would consider it I don't want to spoil anything. The first two are underwater. The third one's in the sky. They're all good. They're all very good. But I thought the first two were better. So yeah, fuck yeah, that's pretty cool. But I don't know. It was cool. What surprised me a little bit was that they didn't announce any new Super Nintendo games. I mean, listen. I'm not one of those people that I think I've died on this hill so many times on this podcast. So many people are angry about the way Nintendo's rolling out their classic games now and how they miss the virtual console where you can just go on and buy your games. I prefer the way they're doing them now, because forget the fact that you have online and you have the portable on your Switch, okay? Just for the pricing, for $25 Canadian for the year, I've got almost 60 NES games and almost 30 Super Nintendo games. And for $25, I would have bought Super Mario World, Link to the Past, and Super Metroid, and that would have been my $25. And now I have all those games instead. Having said that, they have, since they announced them last September, they've only done, I think, 2 drops of new games since September. So what is that? October, November, December, January, February, March. So we're like 6 months. They've done 2 editions of games since then. And I didn't expect them to go monthly like they were doing with the NES, but like this is pretty stingy. And I was really surprised. I thought that we were going to get some more games when I saw there was a new direct. I was expecting some. I want SimCity. I know a lot of people have brought up the Donkey Kong Country games, and yeah, fuck right, I would love those. Like, I want the Donkey Kong Country games too. But like SimCity, I love that game, and I just thought that game would be perfect handheld. You could hop in and tweak your city, and then just put your Switch to the side where you're watching TV and let the city run. You know, like I don't know if there's maybe a licensing issue there or anything, but that's the Super Nintendo game that I want on there. So anyway, so that's the big news with Nintendo. I don't know what else there is to talk about when it comes to Nintendo. Oh yeah, except for the Mario rumors that like literally I hate when people use the word literally when it's not literal, and I do that, but literally 24 of you between Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and one carrier pigeon reached out to me and told me, hey, did you see the new Mario stories? And I'm not mad. It's awesome. Thank you all for reaching out to me. I can't shout you all out because there was just too many of you. I did see it, and I am fucking excited. If you haven't seen it, there's a story floating around that Nintendo is going to be re-releasing a ton of Mario games for his 35th anniversary later this year on the Nintendo Switch. And just for the record, before I get too into it, Nintendo has not confirmed it. As far as I know, as of March 31st at 3:37 p.m. Mountain Time, Nintendo has not come out and said these are locked and loaded or anything yet. It's just a lot of different sources reporting it. A lot of credible sources are reporting it. If this turns out to be an April Fool's joke or just somehow untrue and everyone got it wrong, it is going to shatter my heart. Fucking shatter my heart. Like worse than Spider-Man 3 and the new Ghostbusters movie. Not the new one, but the female reboot from a few years ago. Worse than those 2 movies did to my heart combined. This news will shatter my heart. So the rumor is that Nintendo is going to be re-releasing Mario 64, boo, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy, fuck yes, in an anniversary collection a la Mario All-Stars from the Super Nintendo, but on the Nintendo Switch. Some are saying Mario Galaxy 2 as well. Some are not. Nobody knows for sure if they're both going to be there. I have to imagine if they're going to give us one, they're going to give us both. I don't know if they're going to be all or HD versions like the original All-Stars was to the NES versions, or if they're just going to be ports, but holy fuck. I will say, listen, you guys know I give Super Mario 64 a lot of shit, but if you re-release that game on the Switch with dual analog controls instead of one analog and those fucking C buttons, yeah, I'll play me some more Super Mario 64. I'm not stupid. I know how good that game can be. Originally, nobody was reporting that they were going to be in one package. They were just saying these games were coming. And I was thinking, like, they can't charge full price for each of those games, can they? But then my brain was like, of course they can, Adam. It's Nintendo. That's what Nintendo does, right? And I was thinking, like, fuck me, man. Like, $80 Canadian each for 4 different, for Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, and Mario Galaxy 2. Even I, who's like a diehard Nintendo fanboy sucker who just sucks at the proverbial Nintendo teat, I'm like, I can't justify that. But if they all come out in one package, if all those games are in one All-Stars package for $80 Canadian or $60 American or 400 Lu or whatever Australian money is and 256 chips in Britain or whatever, I don't know what all the rest of the world's currencies are, what you guys pay for normal games. But if they release Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, and maybe Mario Galaxy 2 in one full-priced regular package, that is a deal and a million. And you've got them all portable? Fuck me. Like Mario Sunshine hasn't seen the day of light since the GameCube, which I've got sitting there and I gotta play it. That's something else I gotta play during this lockdown. But holy fuck, that's insane, you guys. That's so rad. And if you're thinking like, well, that sounds awesome, but there's also more news. Apparently they're going to be reporting Mario 3D World. Not reporting, they're going to be porting Mario 3D World from the Wii U over to the Switch with some new levels as well. And if you didn't play that game because you don't have a Wii U, I understand, but you're going to need to right that wrong when this gets ported. I really, really like that game, particularly when you're playing it with your friends. It's like, I really like it. Like, if you want to know how much I like it, where I would rank it all time, check out Remember the Game expansion pass this Sunday. There's my plug. It's fucking, that's great. So if they add online to that too, where I could play with one of my buddies or my nephew or someone while I'm sitting at home, fuck yeah, I'll buy that. And then they said that they're releasing a new Paper Mario game, apparently, allegedly, and it's going to be going back to the Nintendo 64 GameCube roots, and holy fuck, that's insane, because I hate the Wii Paper Mario. I know some people like Super Paper Mario. I didn't care for it. I thought the humor was good. I thought the gameplay was bad. I want those original RPG style charm Paper Mario games. And it sounds like that's what we're getting. And that's fucking insane. Nintendo can be so goddamn frustrating at times, but they know what their games are worth and they know what they have. And do you have any idea how much money they'll make off of those 3 releases? If they come out for Mario's 35th, apparently they were going to announce all this at E3 this year, but now E3 is dead, so I don't know when they're going to announce it. They're going to announce it later. But like, if they came out this summer and were like, oh yeah, by the way, you guys, here's Mario All-Stars 2 with all those games. Oh yeah, and here's Mario 3D World. And oh yeah, here's the new Paper Mario game. Fuck, I'm good for the year. I'm like, that's all I need out of Nintendo. I'm happy. That's fuck yeah. Shut her down. Let's go home. That's the best. It's insane to me. It's insane to me. When 3D World, when you have 3 games to roll out and 3D World is the worst one of the 3, that is a high, potentially the worst one of the 3 because we don't know how good the Paper Mario game is going to be. It's the one I'm the least excited about. I'm excited about all 3. So that is just, holy fuck. Color me excited, man. Please be true. Fuck, please be true. Okay, we're at 18 minutes. I gotta fucking finish this off. I cannot wait to play those games, except maybe Mario 64. But I can't wait to play those games. But I can't play them yet. But what have I been playing in the last 7 days? A lot. Like, a lot. And I'm gonna fucking rapid fire through. Maybe I won't. I don't care. Who cares if this is longer? What do you guys, where do you have to fucking go? Nowhere. Like, downstairs? Like, you're stuck in a house like I am. I've been playing a lot of video games over the last 7 days. Like, to the point where I'm worried about, like, I'm like, maybe this is too much, but what else can you do? I finished Ori and the Will of the Wisps, first and foremost, on my Xbox One. There are some minor lags, some freezing issues. I had to reinstall the game because I had it pre-installed, and they said reinstall it because there was a major bug in it. They're still working on some patches, apparently. But even with all that said, I 99%ed it. I was missing something on the map, couldn't figure out what it was, and finally just said fuck it and gave up. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. I fucking love that series. If you are into Metroidvanias and platformers, cannot recommend the Ori games enough. The first one, Ori and the Blind Forest, is on Xbox and on the Switch. It's on the Game Pass on Xbox and PC and stuff. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is just on Xbox and PC right now on the Game Pass, but they're both fantastic. Like the Remember the Game stamp of approval. Like 2 stamps side by side in case one wears off. It is that good. I finished Super Mario 3 for my Let's Play, so that was fun. Check that out. Remember the Game, youtube.com/Remember the Game. That was fun. I'm playing through Spyro the Dragon right now because that won our Patreon poll, so you guys will be getting an episode on it in April. I will say, as much shit as I give the PlayStation Classic, once you hack it and put some more PlayStation games on there, it's pretty rad. I wish the controller was a dual analog, but I can look past that. I'm not going to spoil Spyro too much about it, but really digging it. It's been fun, very relaxing, so you see an episode on that in the next 4 or 5 weeks here. Still plugging away at Mario Odyssey when I'm watching TV with my girlfriend because that game is the fucking best and it's been fun to play. I started playing Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. I hope I'm saying that right. It's I believe it's on PlayStation 4 and Xbox and stuff. I've been playing it on Game Pass. I never played anything like it before. It's minimal action. It's very atmospheric. I guess some would call it a walking simulator. But there is some combative stuff in it, and especially with headphones on, it is fucking intense. It's creepy. You have like voices in your head and they're talking to you when you put headphones on. Like they literally, like there was one point, I don't want to spoil anything in case you play, but there's one point where I died because I went the wrong way because the voices in my head were telling me, they were like arguing over which way to go. And I couldn't figure out like the voices in my headphones, not the actual voices in my head. But yeah, fucking. So it's been pretty cool. Apparently, it's pretty short. I guess I think I'm about halfway through it. It's only about 5 or 6 hours. People are saying it's pretty rad, and I never would have found it without Game Pass. Game Pass is the best. Shout out to Bradley McHugh for kicking me in the ass and getting me to get Game Pass. And then speaking of Game Pass, I finally tried Slay the Spire. If you don't know what it is, it's a roguelike card playing dungeon crawling game. But instead of playing it like against other people, like you would Magic or Hearthstone or something, you just play against the computer. I played one game on my Xbox One on Game Pass. It went for a little over an hour. I liked it so much that I went right away, used whatever gold coins I had on my Switch, paid the difference, and bought it on my Nintendo Switch. Because I think it screams Switch. It's the perfect handheld game. Again, while I'm watching TV or something, I could be playing Slay the Spire. I want to be able to take it with me anywhere. I cannot stop playing it. It is so fucking good, you guys. It's like I really like certain roguelikes. Like I'm thinking of Rogue Legacy was rad. Dead Cells is awesome. Binding of Isaac was pretty good. I think I like this one better than any of them. It's card combat. You go against the computer. You got to progress through dungeons and you get different cards every time. Like you don't build a deck that you take with you. You start with a basic deck and then as you play the game, you get more cards and they're random and you can build it, and it's, fuck. Cannot recommend it enough. Play Slay the Spire. Fucking play it. It is so good. That's it. That's all. I've read a little bit. I've worked out a couple times. I've walked my dog. I ate something. I had a shower once. And other than that, I've just been playing video games. And it looks like that's going to be the next month is talking into this microphone and playing video games. And watching movies. But not this movie. There's your segue. That was smooth. Episode 90. We are talking the Mario Brothers movie. As a kid, I loved this movie. My brother did too. I remember I could picture that VHS box. That black cover with the M and Mario and Luigi standing in it with that VHS tape in it, like it was yesterday. My brother and I watched this movie all the time as kids. As an adult, I haven't watched it in a long time. I don't think I love it as much as I used to. Although watching some of the clips on YouTube have been pretty fun. I wanted to talk about it on here forever. My pal Tyler is back. We are going to get into it. Normally, I would cue some music right now, but I'm not doing that because I don't know if I'm going to get flagged or not, like the Vice City episode did for using licensed music. So I just cut a couple of clips out from this movie that I really liked instead. As you guys would have heard off the top, I'm going to play another one right now. And then we're going to talk about the Mario Brothers movie that originally hit theaters on May 28th, 1993. Kick back, relax, wash your hands, and listen to Tyler and I rip apart the Super Mario Brothers movie. Here we go. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Everyone that listens to this podcast knows about our illustrious CEO, my dog Molly. But the other silent partner behind the scenes is my wife. And let me tell you, my friends, a 17-year relationship with another person that has to talk to and live with you is a lot harder to maintain than one with a dog. We've had our ups and downs, and as you all know, a relationship isn't all sunshine and rainbows. They can be a lot of work. You get out what you put in when it comes to relationships, and talking to a therapist can be a fantastic way to put in some work. They can help you work through your issues, learn to communicate better, and even just provide you with an ear to bend when you need it. I've talked to my therapist about my relationships, especially when it came to my stand-up comedy career and how much I was away from home, and they helped me work on ways to keep my relationship strong even when I was out on the road. It turned out our relationship was actually better when I was out on the road, but that's a story for another day. And I know, right? Therapy. Who has the time these days? BetterHelp hears you, and they're making it easy. Fill out a quick form online, and they'll match you up with a therapist that suits your needs, and that'll work around your schedule. You pick the meet times, and you can get your therapy fix from anywhere, over video, phone, or just chat. Become your own soulmate, whether you're looking for one or not. Visit BetterHelp.com/rememberthegame today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/rememberthegame.
Look at this. It's a plumber's nightmare. These pipes haven't been serviced for years.
Must have been a non-union job.
Luigi, lock off all these valves.
What?
It's the heating system. Ow! Treat your tools like a friend. Keep them by you. Never let them down, and they're always at your side.
Hey, Mario, how come it is that for every situation that could possibly come up, you always gotta say about tools, huh?
I got them from Papa. He got them from Grandpa. We'll freeze them. Keep them busy while we make our way up.
How can we do that? We can't just take an elevator?
We gotta do something. We trip the alarm. What do you think I am, stupid?
Yes, but how are we gonna get up, huh? like Mario's.
So this is a first here on the show, and if you are hoping to get more movie reviews in the future, don't expect it, because we have this. First of all, I haven't seen a lot of movies. I don't know anything about movies. I'm banking on you to carry the movie aspect of this conversation. The only video game movies I have seen are this one, The Wizard, and I'll plan on seeing Sonic.
You should watch the Doom movie with The Rock.
No, I fucking tried, because I love The Rock.
It is The Rock,
yes,
and then
and it
Carl
sucks.
Urban.
I don't
Is that
know.
his name?
I watched
the guy who played Judge Dredd.
I watched half an hour. I was like, this fucking is terrible.
I might be way out too. It might not be Carl Urban who's in that movie.
Doesn't matter. No one should ever watch it.
No, everybody should watch it. It's the greatest movie. It's better than Schindler's List.
Fuck, here we go. This is a video game movie, and I like this movie a lot more than I should. And we'll get into that in just a minute, because I know you've got some thoughts on this movie too. I'm excited about this.
Conflicted about it.
Me too. Yes, that's a great way to put it. Me too.
Because I like movies.
But before we get into that, just quickly, I don't do too many of these, but I know you had a project you kind of wanted to give a shout out to, and so I'm going to let you just you've got 48 seconds.
Oh, excellent. So in the last 2 years, I've been part of another media project, Studio 762 on YouTube. I might have said that wrong. It might be 762 Studio 762. My buddy Martin, he's a director, a producer. He started doing a bunch of shorts on YouTube. Some of them are based on video games. So we just recently finished one called Escape from Tarkov, and that game has blown up recently. If you don't know what it is, check it out. It's unrelenting. It's a first-person shooter where you gather loot, and if you die in the raid, you lose everything you had on you. So it's very frustrating at times, because sometimes you have the jackpot and then you get shot in the head and are dead instantly. Like it's a very relentless game. But if you like self-punishment, check it out. And if you want to check out some really cool action-based YouTube videos, Studio 762. I'm in 3 of them right now. I'm going to be in a 4th one right away here.
Killer. Studio 762. Fucking right. Good plug. You did it. Good job. You were like, I don't know how to plug stuff. Well, you'll be fine. You just fucking tell them what it is. You fucking did it. You're a killer. You're magic.
Yeah. Martin, you owe me however much promotion fees I get.
Yeah. Well,
a sandwich.
If it's
a
based
peanut
on
butter
the,
and jelly sandwich.
If it's based on the income of this show, you owe Martin $3. That's how this fucking show works.
I think I owe Martin $3 for being in his films.
So we'll shift. We'll shift from a good film project to a
air quotes good.
Yes, to a mediocre film product, and that is the Super Mario Brothers movie, which originally hit theaters on May 28th, 1993.
Oh, sweet.
So I would have been 9 when this movie came out.
I would have been. I'm a year younger than you. 8. When were you born? 86?
83.
Oh, you're fucking old.
What the fuck are you trying to do math? I was like, well, this came out in 93 and I was 9. And you're like, when were you born? 86? Come on. You're the smart one.
No, I'm dumb. I'm actually really dumb. I'm just creative. So you can pass off as being smart, but actually you're good at bullshitting.
Welcome to being a comedian. So you would have been 6 or 7. And I would have been 9.
Yeah. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Me too. I remember seeing this in theaters. Yesterday. I remember going. Oh, did you? Oh, I haven't seen this movie. Where it's not on anything, is it? Like it's not on any streaming services. VHS.
And my girlfriend has a VHS player. It was serendipity. That's how we came together.
I don't think this movie's on anything now. Like it's not on any streaming services or anything. I don't think.
It's too bad.
I remember going to see this in theaters.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters with my uncle, I think.
And I remember at the time liking it. I remember walking out being like, holy fuck, that was Mario and Luigi and they were on the screen. And I've watched it 100 times. If we had the VHS, it was one of those movies my brother and I would watch over and over and over again.
Ditto.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Tyler. I've probably seen this movie 20 or 30 times. And if you were like, hey, all right, so what's the storyline of this movie?
Basically.
The way you went, I'm like, yeah, I'm not like.
Basically, the storyline of this movie is a director and a producer got together and they're like, oh, how can we capitalize on Nintendo's success? Let's get a bunch of actors together. Let's get a whole bunch of booze. And let's film a fucking movie.
Oh, because like, okay, you would think if you were like, hey, I'm gonna make a Mario Brothers movie. You'd be like, okay, what's your storyline for your Mario Brothers movie? Well, there's Bowser.
Yeah.
And he's a big lizard guy.
Yeah.
And he kidnaps a princess.
Right.
And then Mario and Luigi are plumbers that go to the Mushroom Kingdom, and they have to save the princess from Bowser.
Are you high?
No, that's it. That's my story. And you'd be like, okay, that doesn't seem, so what's the big finale? Well, they defeat Bowser, they save the princess. And then
Right.
probably
Oh,
sets
okay.
up for a sequel because Bowser isn't dead. He's still around.
Yeah, you actually have a good story arc there. You have your beginning, your climax,
It seems
and then
very
your
simple.
resolution. It
So
seems
then,
good.
so what happened in the Mario Brothers movie? You're like, well, there's Mario and Luigi. They're plumbers. They go to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Mario, and Luigi Mario. They're brothers. They're plumbers. They go to the Mushroom Kingdom where they fight King Koopa, who is not quite a giant lizard. He's a man.
Played by Dennis Hopper.
Played by Dennis Hopper. Okay, so anything about like who played who and shit like that, that's your job because I don't know anything. So they go to the Mushroom Kingdom to save Princess Daisy, for some reason.
No, but that's super legit because they didn't
No,
want it.
it's
They wanted to
not.
have the young guy so that people would. Wow,
Fuck
It's
off.
legit because Luigi loves Daisy, and they
I
had
get
John
it.
Leguizamo be the.
Okay, but no, you could have done Mario and Princess Peach or Toadstool. What the fuck? So whatever. Okay,
Man, have
strike
you s-
one.
Okay.
Strike one. No, okay, strike one. Bowser's not a lizard. He's
Okay.
a human. I know that he kind of becomes a. I think I don't even know. After seeing the movie all these times, at one point he kind of becomes a lizard when they shoot him with digital super scopes. But I don't know. We'll get into that. Okay.
Yeah.
So the
Which I got hyped on because I
So-
had a super scope
Like,
at
me
home.
too,
and I was
right?
like, "Ah!"
So they kidnap Princess Daisy and a bunch of other girls that they've kidnapped from Queens. And
Right.
so the plumbers go into the sewer or something, an archaeological dig.
Yeah, because they
And
have
end
that
up-
crystal to open the portal.
and end up falling into a portal
Yeah.
where they're
the meteorite had struck and had actually sent the dinosaurs to another dimension.
yeah. So you go through a portal into a underground New York, kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
covered in fungus,
Yeah.
full of dinosaurs and weird people.
Yeah.
And then they have to save Princess Daisy from the human Bowser and his toads, which are his Koopas.
Koopas,
Because they
yeah.
transform Toad into a Koopa.
Yeah,
And it seems.
they're reverting their DNA to
This
be
is-
more lizard-like.
Okay, we'll get into more of the details, but basically, if you're listening to this and you're like, what the fuck is going on? That's the movie.
That's the movie. It's, the whole time, if as an adult, you're going, "What the fuck's going on?" As a kid, you're like, "Mario, Luigi."
They fucked up this whole movie. They took the Super Mario video games are based on the most basic, simple storytelling there is. You got to save the princess from the Koopa. And they, instead of just making that movie, they put so much weird fucking shit into this. To me, it seemed like, I know it was a marketing ploy. That's what this movie was. It was marketing. It was like, let's cash in on this IP and this franchise and make a ton of money.
Yeah, I think they even had like the beginnings of the movie set up before they knew it was going to be the Mario movie. Kind of like what they did with Starship Troopers. So like I think Starship Troopers, they had made a bunch of that movie and then they got the licensing for the Starship Trooper, which is based on a book.
Okay.
Then they got the licensing for the book, so they like retrofitted what they'd already made for the movie to match the book, and I think that's what they did with this. They had a whole bunch of set and story and kind of developed, and then they were like, "Oh, we got the license for Super Mario. This is what this
Let's
is going to be."
shoehorn him into this.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, because like it's just a disaster. I don't like.
I could be wrong about that. I remember hearing that.
If we just spent 5 minutes trying to explain the plot and you have no idea what the fuck we're talking about, we're going to break down some of the details right now. But no, you shouldn't know what we're talking about because it just makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense. And we will get into the good stuff because there is some good stuff. And we'll save that for the end so we can end this episode on a positive note, okay? Because there's a lot more bad stuff than there is fucking good stuff. So the first bad thing to me, outside of the fucked up story, is the lack of Nintendo characters that they could have put in this. Because to me, that's like, I would have enjoyed it infinitely more, even with the shitty story and everything, if you had just put more Nintendo characters in it. Why couldn't Bowser... I know at one point they shoot him with those super scopes and he kind of reverts back into a dinosaur, whatever the fuck it was. But why couldn't he just turn into like actual Bowser instead of he basically just turns into a T-Rex for 3 seconds and then explodes? Like, where was Bowser? Where are the Koopa Troopas?
Yeah.
Why are the Goombas giant green things that look more like Koopa Troopas? Why couldn't you have had those bad guys? Where were the piranha plants? Like, there's so Hammer Brothers. There's so many iconic Nintendo characters you could have just put into this movie and made it better. We just wanted to see them in real life.
Yeah.
Right? Because one of the coolest moments in this movie is when Mario and Luigi find the 2 coverall outfits and turn into Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, yeah.
And they do
With the jump boots too. Like
Yeah,
I
with
like
those jump
I
boots.
thought that was like a nice way to explain why they can jump so high.
because they found these boots that make them jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their boots are weighted, so obviously if you have these weighted boots, fucking stomping on someone's
Right.
head, it makes sense.
It totally made sense.
Like
And
it was
that
a good way
scene-
to explain it, and then it totally had the imagery that you expected.
Right. because they're not dressed like Mario and Luigi for most of the movie in the red and green and the coveralls. And then at one point they find those outfits, they change. And my favorite scene in the whole movie
is when they're in the club wearing the suits.
No, fuck you. We'll get into that in a second. I wanted to save the positives for the end, but but just quickly, the coolest part of the movie to me is the 2 seconds where they're standing in the elevators, the doors closing, and they're wearing the red and green coverall jumpsuits, and they like high five and do like wait, and I'm just like, that's Mario and Luigi, like yeah, and then they fuck it up again.
So then, did you do that high five where you made the M with your best friend?
No,
your brother.
I didn't have any friends, but I would have had I did it. So I don't know where Bowser was. I don't know why they didn't put more iconic bad guys in. I don't know why they didn't put more iconic good guys in. Toad. So there's a character in the movie who is Toad, and he's just like
a folk musician.
Yeah, he's just like a street musician, kind of a badass, kind of a rebel, and they end up kidnapping him and they turn him into a bad guy, or they catch him and they turn him into a bad guy or something. And I could, to me, if you wanted to, okay, so the king,
and he's not even king, he's President Koopa.
I know I'm all over the place here, you guys. It's just but the original king of the Mushroom Kingdom, they turned him into a fungus. And that's why there's fungus all over.
Kind of looks like cheese from a pizza.
Yeah, it does. It looks like stringy cheese or like the inside of like a pumpkin.
Yeah.
And so this shit is all over the town or whatever the fuck they're in. And that's the king.
Yeah.
And Luigi notices that it keeps trying to give them stuff. And Mario's like, Luigi, you're an idiot. What are you talking about? But Luigi's like, no, it's trying to help us because it's the king, right?
Right. And that's true to the video game. Mario oftentimes is calling Luigi an idiot. Yeah.
So then they catch Toad and they turn him into a bad guy.
Yeah.
But you turned the king into a fungus.
Yeah.
Toad is a fungus. He's a mushroom in the games.
No,
so
it's
why
a hat.
didn't they shut the fuck up? So why didn't they catch Toad and then turn him into Toad? Why couldn't he have
become a mushroom?
Why couldn't
that
he
would have been awesome?
You have mushrooms in the fucking movie. Where's Toad? Why isn't Princess Peach anywhere? So Princess Daisy, they catch Princess Daisy, and I know you were like, because the love story is young Luigi matched up with Princess Daisy. But there's a bunch of other girls caught. Why couldn't one of the other girls have been Peach?
I don't know.
Why aren't the Nintendo characters in the Nintendo movie? It's so dumb.
They were really, really drunk when they filmed
it. There's no power-ups. The only power-up they find, they have the boots, which I think are dumb, but you know what? You're right. It explains how they can jump, explains how they can jump on bad guys. Even though they never jump on bad guys, it explains how technically they
should have
could.
Jumped and then drop kicked.
Where are the power-up mushrooms? Where are the fire flowers? Where are the stars? Why couldn't they find a mushroom or a fucking The king is fungus. It's a mushroom. Why is it the king handing the mushrooms?
He gives them a bomb.
It gives them a bomb, which is a bad guy. It's so... God damn it. This was just like, this should have been the dream movie. And it's like the people that fucking made it had never played Mario, knew nothing of the Mario franchise. They looked at a poster and were like, well, we could use this as this, and we could use this as this. I'm half surprised Luigi's not the villain.
This is the rant that you could apply to any movie that was made based on a video game.
I know!
None of them have been successful.
There's just not a lot of video games I love as much as Mario Brothers.
Right. So,
all those things I just said, though, that's my biggest complaint with this movie. It's not the shitty story, because I could look past all the garbagey story.
Because the story's made for like a 10-year-old.
Of course. But it makes no fucking sense. As a 35-year-old, I still couldn't follow the fucking storyline.
Yeah, but as a 10-year-old, I was pumped about it.
But as a 10-year-old, the thing you were pumped about was that you saw these things out of a video game that you love come to life on real life in the TV on the screen. And it's fair, like they could have put so many more of them into it.
Yeah, and to be fair, as a 10-year-old, I loved Beastmaster and like... I can't even think of other shitty things that I loved as a 10-year-old because I block them out of my adult memory.
There's a scene where they're in a club, like a bar.
Yeah.
They're dressed in suits.
The best scene in the whole movie. It made me want to party and become a club goer.
Right. So they go to this. I don't remember why it was because
in a canary yellow suit.
It was because that giant woman had the asteroid piece that they needed.
Oh, right.
So they went to the club so Mario could put the moves on her to try to get the asteroid piece away.
Her.
Yeah. Which, like, why is that whole scene even in the movie? Like, I don't get why that's there. None of that is necessary. They never went to a fucking...
Because the entire cast was doing a lot of drugs and drinking a lot. They were actually at a club, and Bob Hoskins actually seduced that fat lady.
Oh, maybe.
Robust. She wasn't fat. She was robust.
She was hefty. Yoshi shows up for 3 seconds. Yeah. For some reason, there's a little dinosaur, and that's another thing. Why couldn't they ride Yoshi? Why didn't you make Yoshi bigger and then let
Like
them
a
ride him?
raptor, yeah, and then
Like-
actually, that would have been
Right?
dope.
Like imagine, right? Okay, so make Yoshi because Yoshi's like this little weenie dinosaur in this fucking movie. And for the record, I hate Yoshi. Okay, and I've ranted about how much I hate Yoshi many times.
He's like a Yorkie,
Right.
In it, you know,
so,
like-
but like they're in this tower. Why couldn't they have been trapped at one point and been in a lot of trouble, and then had this raptor-sized Yoshi fucking come in and save them, and then they ride him out?
yeah,
Just like the like. There's so many things that would have been so easy. The story didn't have to be good. Just put the Nintendo video game stuff into this fucking movie. My dog's sitting on the other side of the room because she's like, "Holy fuck, he's getting angry." I am getting fucking angry because this movie was all I wanted.
I'm with Molly on this one. I'm a little
God
scared.
damn it. Anyway,
I loved the movie. I thought it was great.
shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of my house. So basically, yeah. There are good things, and I want to get into the good things.
So, but with your rant, I just want to. Most people agree with you.
Sure.
4 out of 10 on IMDb, 23% on Rotten Tomato. Not the worst movie, but definitely a low score.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, here's the thing. Like, I'm reading about it right now. Like, this movie tanked hard at the box
Yeah.
office. Lost like half its money. Everyone hates it.
Budget 48 million, pulled in 23.
I do remember reading something where Bob Hoskins, the guy that played Mario, said that the biggest regret of his career is this movie.
Oh, really?
Which I have no doubt in my mind.
Oh, fuck that. That guy's a bitch.
No,
No,
fuck that.
fuck-
He-
no,
and you know
fuck-
what sucks is that
No, fuck him. Because on that film, they put him up in a mansion. So he was the only actor who got like a fucking mansion supplied to him. He didn't get it. He didn't get a shitty trailer. He got a fucking mansion.
doesn't mean the movie doesn't suck.
Whatever.
And
He
he
still
knows that the
he
movie
was saying
sucks.
it's the biggest regret of his life. So he got put up in a mansion. He got supplied drugs and alcohol and got to party with John Leguizamo, who's a fucking hilarious dude, for 6 months. Fuck
it's
that.
just-
That's not a regret. That's a fucking vacation.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
Which you
shut
can
up.
regret vacations.
Still
I
a
guess.
black eye. It's like this episode. This episode of the show is going to be the Super Mario Brothers movie of our podcast.
No.
It is going to be the worst episode.
It's gonna be a crowd favorite.
No, it isn't. Everyone's gonna be like, never talk movies again because you just got angry and yelled into the microphone for half an hour. The movie was a bomb. It bombed.
Yeah.
The thing is like a lot of kids, and I guarantee you, a lot of people listening to this are around our age and probably watched this as kids. They probably really liked it. I did. As a kid, I loved this movie. I watched this movie over and over and over. And then as I got older, like I think about it, and I'm like, what a train wreck. Like, what a missed opportunity. What a shitty shit movie this ended up being. Now I look at it, because I've read that it's got like a cult following now online.
Yeah, I could see that.
I haven't watched it forever. There's nowhere to watch it. It's forgotten.
I'll lend you my VHS.
Yes, please. If you can lend me your VCR and your fucking VHS.
No, you can't have the VCR. That's Britney's.
Be kind and rewind and everything. Like when I look back on it though, like I want to like it because it's my favorite franchise and it's a movie.
If it wasn't labeled the Super Mario Brothers movie and like the characters had different names,
Right.
would you like it? Because then it would be a weird fucking like.
You know
a
what?
Cult, like
then
cult following
I'd
movie.
probably tolerate it. I'd be
Yeah.
like, this is just some weird sci-fi
Yeah.
fantasy movie.
I would say it would be on the level of The Crow if it was like Crow being more goth, right? But
Right.
on the level of like weird sci-fi fantasy, but because it has the set. Like, I think they filmed it in some kind of like refinery or something, but then they built inside this refinery or like concrete factory or something, built it to look like New York, but like underneath the ground.
Right.
So the set looks so fucking cool.
It
Again, removing yourself from it
Right.
being Super Mario because it's not, you know.
Yeah, if
the
Mario
Mushroom
wasn't
Kingdom.
Having said that though, I don't watch a lot of movies. If Mario wasn't attached to this, I don't go see it. I never see it. I probably never see. I've never seen The Crow. You're talking about. I've never seen The Crow. I've never seen. Dude, I literally am watching the Star Wars movies for the first time in my life right now because they're on Disney
Yeah, you're
Plus.
wasting your time.
I haven't seen movies.
You're wasting your time.
Well, I'm not getting into that. I don't care
Go watch
enough.
The Crow and then put the Star Wars movies on the shelf. And,
I'll-
and your entire listener base just like decided they're gonna come to Mournville and kill me now.
Yeah. Well, nobody knows
Motherfucker.
where Mournville is.
It's the Jewel of the North.
To me, this ruined video game movies.
Yeah, and it's
Like
one of the
people-
first ones. I
right.
think it's the first
It
video
has to
game.
be one of the first ones. Like because like there's like the Street Fighters and the Mortal Kombats.
Yeah, and they were bad.
And they all suck, right?
The
Doom
first Mortal
sucked.
Kombat was okay. Doom sucked. The
like-
Last Starfighter is a prime example of a really good video game movie because they made the movie first and then made a video game based on the movie because it was about a guy who plays a video game and goes into space.
Like I'm like I am, and I mean this sincerely. I'm very curious / interested in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie because, especially since they reworked how Sonic looked, he worked way better. He looks
yeah,
way better.
way better.
I'm like, if you're
And-
Sega, you're like, hey, Nintendo beat us. Nintendo basically crippled us. Now we work for Nintendo, kinda. We could fucking shove a movie up their ass though. And I know that they're working on a new Mario Brothers movie as well, and it's like an animated one. And it's probably, there's no doubt in my mind it'll be better than this.
Yeah, especially because it's animated, so you can do
Right.
more, and it's
Exactly.
going to be true to the Mario's universe.
Okay, so now I want to get into the positives on this before I wrap this up and just get more angry. Like, first and foremost, like the movie looks cool.
Yeah, it's stylized. That's why I compare it to The Crow. 'Cause
Sure.
The Crow was a very stylized movie. The sets in The Crow were very good.
Right.
It's based on a comic, and it did surprisingly well, whereas the Mario Brothers didn't do well.
No.
But I feel like it had the same level of set design, the same level of costume design. It's just, I think the fan base for comic books are just way more pumped to see
Right.
movies made. And comics are easier to translate into a movie because you basically have your storyboard done. It's panel for panel. You just have to copy the comic.
Right.
Whereas the Mario
Marvel
Brothers...
case in point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas the Mario Brother movie, it's really hard to copy a side-scrolling video game, level for level to make a movie.
Yeah,
right?
but what's fucked up is like they clearly knew this movie was going to appeal to children because it's Mario Brothers in 1993 when every kid in the world is like obsessed with Nintendo and Mario. And then they went and put the most overly complicated storyline ever into it. Like, and it's like, why wouldn't you just keep it simple for the kids that are going to see it?
They had a whole bunch of... I'm not making excuses for the movie or trying to pump it up, but they had... This is evident in their screenplay writing. Their whole production went way over budget. Like, they just had production issues. Like,
Right.
This is the Hollywood story for Apocalypse Now, for lots of films, where they run into issues, so then they start just like floundering to try and make it work.
Right, like just pigeonhole something in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but but again, like, to get back to the positives, like it looks cool. Like the city they're in, I can't remember the name of the city they're in. Dino York, or I have it on my fucking computer here. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right? They're in like a dinosaur, like New York.
Yeah, it's basically this in the story. The meteorite came and all the dinosaurs got knocked into
Yeah.
an alternate dimension, which is underground. So the city's supposed to be like underground. There's no skyline or anything
and
like that.
And they do, like, it looks cool. Like, they did a good job where it looks cool.
And it's New Yorky. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a weird New York. And
Yeah.
like, even the way the cars work they don't have fossil fuels because they're dinosaurs. So they have electric cars that are
Yeah.
on like rail systems. Like, it's very creative.
Some of the costumes, like, I mean, the thing about it is, like, Koopa looks cool as a human. I love the way his like hair with like the little spike things and stuff look.
Yeah, they tried to.
I like that. My only beef with Koopa in this movie, really, what it comes, like, I know I'm ranting about it, is when he turned into a dinosaur. He only turned into a dinosaur because they shot him with those guns that apparently devolved him back into a dinosaur. When that happened, he should have looked like Koopa.
Yeah,
They
actually.
clearly had the ability with Jurassic Park and these types of movies. Like, they made him look like a T-Rex. Like, how couldn't you just give him his spiky shell and made him blow a little bit of fire? Like, Koopa's my favorite. Like, Bowser is my favorite character.
He should have just grown Bowser's punk rock spike
Right.
bracelets, and that's it. He should have still looked
Like,
like Dennis Hopper and
it
just
just-
had the spike bracelets.
It just seems like it would have been so easy to make him look like that. You know what I mean? But he still looked cool. And I'll give them that. I thought Mario and Luigi were actually phenomenally cast.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them. I love because like they don't really play up their ages in the video games that much. They almost look like twins. Like they seem about the same age.
Yeah, because in the first one, like, they used just the same
The sprite.
and
Right.
then changed the colors.
Right. And even like we all know that, like, even by today, Luigi's just taller and skinnier, but they look the same basically, right? And I love the way they play up the like older brother, younger brother. I think Luigi was actually adopted. I think that's what it was,
that's what
right?
they- yeah,
'Cause he was
that's what they
adopted.
say in that.
But I love the way that Mario was like the gruff older guy, and they captured that Luigi's a little skinnier and a little bit younger, and
And he's
he's
the
a little
apprentice.
brother.
And he's the apprentice,
Right.
right? Like,
And
throughout the movie, Mario's reminding him to use his tools.
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
Blah, blah.
And most
Like,
people that grew up playing Mario, the little brother had to be Luigi because the
All the
older,
time,
right?
yeah.
My brother was always Luigi because I'm the older one.
My brother, I'd unplug his controller. He wouldn't even be allowed.
Yeah,
Fuck
right.
him.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So-
Justin.
So I love that they play up that, like, yeah, he's the little brother. I thought they were, not only were they cast perfectly, I thought they looked perfect. The only slight issue with their appearance was Luigi didn't have his mustache, and I actually prefer him looking like this.
Yeah.
Like, and even when they change into the outfits, Mario has that red, the iconic red. I don't know what that cap is actually called.
Newsboy cap.
Yeah, like, yeah, perfect. Like a newsboy. Luigi has a backwards green cap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I would love to see a Mario game where they actually look like that. Where
Yeah.
Mario is the older looking, more gruff fat guy, and Luigi's the younger guy with the backwards hat who's kind of cool.
Yeah,
like,
representing his age, right?
Yeah. That
because
was
the newsboy cap's like a 1920s thing, so it's like Mario's the old school guy.
Yeah,
right?
like I'm looking at the movie poster right now, and the two of them look rad on that poster. Like
I think people went to see the movie alone because of the movie poster, because it looks like
they may
this
have.
ain't no game.
Yeah,
The
like they may
tagline.
have. Like I would hang that poster in this room because that poster looks dope.
They got
It's
the
just
boots
that
on.
everything under that poster sucks. Like everything sucks. Oh yeah, there's Iggy and Spike.
Oh yeah,
His like Bowser's. What are they like? His nephews?
yeah.
Or something like the 2
They're-
sidekicks.
Yeah, I think they're nephews. They're not his son.
No,
His kids, because he has
but
the
like
Koopa kids. Right?
I like the idea of that. I don't like that one of them is Spike because Iggy was one of the 7 Koopa kids and Spike wasn't.
yeah.
I don't know why they couldn't have been like Iggy and Lenny or something.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been cool if they had actually become the dinosaurs. Like, it really.
Well, and they should have. Well, I don't know. They should have. It's a masterpiece. They shouldn't have done anything differently.
Fucking hate you.
But like in the Mario game, like all the Koopa kids have wands that they stole from the different kingdoms.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what that little gem is supposed to be. It's a piece of the asteroid or whatever that
Mm-hmm.
sent the meteor, sorry, that sent the dinosaurs underground. They should have had like, you know, oh, this is this kingdom, and you know, that's our royal scepter piece that closes the gateway.
Right.
They could have played that up and had more lore from the games.
Right.
Right.
I mean, obviously it's easy like to sit here and not have producers and a company and a production company and a budget and everything to deal with.
Especially in a time where like nerds didn't rule the world.
Of
at the
course,
time.
I totally get it. But like, no, there can't be one person on the planet that saw this movie and was like, that's not Mario Brothers. Like it would have been so easy to make a Mario Brothers movie. So
Yeah.
and not only would have been easy to make a Mario Brothers movie, you put some of that iconic. I've already ranted about it, the power ups and the villains and stuff like that in there. Now you can sell toys for all those fucking things. Now you set up a sequel. You know what I
Right.
mean? Where you're like, oh, our princess is in another cat. Like that's all you really have to do. And now now you've set up a sequel.
Well, and even having it be Princess Daisy's fucking kingdom as the initial, and then have them be like, "Oh, Princess Peach is in trouble. You got to go to this other kingdom
Right,
that's underneath
right,
Japan,
right?
To
It,
make
like,
more sense,
right? It should have been so much easier than it was. I guarantee you, there's tons of articles out there explaining the disaster of
because it
Super
was
Mario Brothers.
It was a
and-
production disaster,
right,
Like it's
right, and like you said, it really does feel like they made another movie, and then we're like, this movie's gonna suck, and then they're like, well, let's pigeonhole in the Mario IP or whatever, you know.
I'm not 100% on that. I
makes-
remember reading.
It makes sense though. It makes sense. I haven't seen this movie in years and years. I would love a chance to see. Why isn't it on something?
Netflix. Step up your fucking game.
Yeah, Netflix. You're going out of business. Fucking get it.
Yeah.
Or it's got to be on iTunes or something. Or maybe it's online.
It
I'm
might
sure
be
it's
on
online.
iTunes. Everything's on iTunes.
Yeah,
Disney Plus is putting Netflix out of business because they're gonna release the Mario Brothers movie.
Because it's better.
Yeah.
I want to watch this movie again. I want to watch this movie again just to see. I hate it. I want to like it. Like you said off the top, it's conflicting because everything in my being wants to like this movie.
Well, and I watched it enough that, you know, I can't say that I didn't like it if I watched it that
Same.
many times.
I watched it a trillion times, and there's so many scenes I like. I like the part where they're on the mattress and they're going through the frozen pipe trying to
Yeah.
get away from the Goombas, and I like the part where they're in the cop car and they're trying to escape in the cop car and they're running across the grates, and then
Oh, and they had the Nintendo gun, the original Nintendo gun in the cop car, and that's how
oh,
you
they had the
navigate-
zapper. That's how you navigate.
Yeah.
Yes. See, like, where's more of that? Like, where's
Yeah.
more of those little? The fact that they both get super. They don't actually call them super scopes, but the fact that they both get super scopes at the end, I fucking love that. Like,
Did
that
you
was
have
so
a super
cool.
scope?
I did. Yes.
Oh, I loved it.
I did too. Yoshi Safari was a good game.
Yeah, one Yoshi
best Yoshi
Safari,
game.
and then there was one where you fought giant robots. Oh, I gotta look.
All I had was Yoshi Safari and Super Scope 6, like that game that came with it. That was all I
It
had.
might have been Super Scope 6 because I can't remember. I gotta look it up.
I love that they were
off,
like
off air, I'll talk about that.
Okay,
because I want to.
I love that they took the zapper and were like, "How do we improve on the zapper? Let's make it a bazooka." They're like, yeah, like I just picture like the powers that be at Nintendo, just like
with a stupid sight that you never look through.
No,
Like, I would
never.
always just fucking
Me
shoulder
too.
or
Me
hip
too.
fire it. But they had a sight on it so that you could like, I don't know, learn how to
Right.
wink and then aim the bazooka. And that's when you find out that I shoot left-handed because
Yeah.
my left eye dominant.
Well, that's a
Piss.
great dude. That was a great pull by you. I never forgot all about the zappers in the cop car. That's a great fucking pull. And
Yeah.
and those little like I actually like the fact that the fungus hands him the bomb, and the bomb's not a bad guy because you can use bombs in the game. You can
Yeah.
stomp on them and throw them.
Yeah.
But then when Mario takes the bomb out and Koopa's like ba-bomb, and then he like winds it up and just puts it down, and it does the like why weren't they selling those things everywhere? I loved that little touch, and it's when they throw in those little nods to the classic Mario Brothers characters where you're like, I think that's why I like the movie. It's for those little. It's like I sit through 10 minutes of shit, but then I get the zapper, and 5 minutes of shit, then I get the bomb.
Yeah.
Why wasn't there more of that?
And the action was good. I thought the action was
the action
okay.
was fine. The action's fun. I thought the actress that played Daisy was cool. Like I dug her and Luigi.
Yeah.
My big beef was like, why wasn't like they run in to save all these other girls, right? Because they have all these other girls that have been kidnapped from Queens because they're looking for Daisy.
And Mario like hooks up with one of them too,
right?
And they don't say like, "Oh, this is Princess Peach."
Right.
Like at any point, it's never Princess Peach. And the whole premise from the Mario game is he's trying to rescue his princess. Like Luigi's helping Mario rescue Peach. Like it's a nice detail that Luigi and Daisy have a thing, and they didn't like make it Luigi and Peach. Like they actually had enough sense to be like, "Oh, the older brother is supposed to get Peach.
Right.
The younger brother, what's his princess? Okay, we'll throw that princess in instead." So
like,
they had,
It's to me, it would have made sense. Like have Luigi chase Daisy into this, like, because he meets her in the real world, and then she gets kidnapped, and then they go in there to save her. But then when they go in, have Mario be single, and then have him meet Princess Peach there or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. We could sit here and point out all the shit they should have done forever. I know I've ranted about it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode.
I mean, it's New York. They should have had the Ninja Turtles rescue everyone.
Fucking rights they should have. Why not, right? They would have looked better than the Goombas.
Especially the Ninja Turtles movie at that time was dope.
Oh, God, I love that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm done. I'm done. I'm spent. You got anything else to say about this fucking thing before we score it?
I gave it a 10 out of 10 on IMDb. I went against
it. God, I hate you so much. You know what?
I think like you said, I think the casting was done really well. Dennis Hopper is fantastic as King Koopa. Like even if he just voiced King Koopa, like he has a very commanding, unique voice. Like he does a spoken word thing in a Gorillaz track, and right away I knew it was Dennis Hopper, and I was like, oh yeah. And it sends chills up your spine listening to that like deep voice describe things. He's got a villainous kind of monologue. So
to me, it's a good it's almost like it's a double-edged sword that the casting of the main characters is so good because Mario, Luigi, Koopa are all cast fucking perfectly. Yeah, but then the movie is such a turd, and you're like, you had all the pieces.
Yeah,
like you didn't
even
fuck up the casting.
They could have kept the set the way it was. Like I thought the set looked great.
Me
they didn't
too.
have to have it in the Mushroom Kingdom. It could have been in the alternate New York.
Too.
And it could have eventually gone to the Mushroom Kingdom in a sequel. Like I thought the set looked so good, and that's something you don't get in a lot of in that era. Set design was a big deal because you had to build the set. You didn't have CG, like nothing CG in that. So that's a huge aspect of that movie that I loved is the set is so creative. And I'm a film buff, so when a set is awesome, it just resonates with me.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I compare it to The Crow because The Crow had a very unique set that was developed, lots of model work. It's very hard to make sets like that. So it's huge nod to their production company.
It's just looking at the numbers, like it should show just how bad this movie was when it like the box office was $20.9 million. Yeah. And it's like just putting Mario Brothers on the poster should have made their money back.
Yeah.
But then people started to be like, well, this sucks. And the reviews came out and then everyone's like, I'm not going to fucking see that.
Well, what was the rating on it? Because I imagine lots of kids didn't get to go see it.
I don't know, probably PG-13, I would think.
Yeah.
And that's another thing.
I saw it in theaters. So.
I did too, so it must not have been. I don't know. I don't see it on here anywhere. Because I went to see it in theaters too, and I liked it. Again, I just now I'm like, this is fucking terrible. Anyway.
Yeah. Based on.
I'm done with this.
It says based on Super Mario Brothers.
Based on Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, based on a true story.
Based on a true story about two plumbers from New York.
Well, they all right. Well, I don't even know how to fucking score this stupid thing. Would you give it 2 thumbs up?
Yeah.
Would you?
No. I'd give it like 1 thumb up and 1 thumb sideways, and they'd both be kind of shaky. Like, yeah. I liked it as a 12-year-old or however old I was.
I'd give it 1 thumb up. Yeah, 1 thumb up. It just look. Okay, we're gonna end this thing right now. But like in a 2007 interview, Hoskins spoke critically of Super Mario Bros., saying that it was the worst thing I ever did, and that the whole experience was a nightmare.
Because he had sex with John Leguizamo.
In another interview with The Guardian, Hoskins was asked, "What was the worst job you've done? What's been your biggest disappointment? And if you could edit your past, what would you change?" His answer to all 3 was Super Mario Bros.
Man, he got paid a boatload of money, got put up in a mansion. He can fuck right off.
Still sucks though.
Well, whatever. Just because you're not proud of the work you did. I think he had sex with John Leguizamo, and that's why he regrets it. He's like, it's the worst regret of my life because he didn't let the romance blossom into something more than a one-night stand.
I can't wait for the animated movie. I'm just reading right now. It says, as of 2018, an animated Mario reboot film is in development by Universal Pictures through its Illumination division, with Miyamoto being co-producer.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be dope.
It's going to be good, I promise. So just... if you've never seen this movie, you know what? And I mean this. If you've never seen this movie and you can find a way to watch it, watch it. One time, it's worth your time. It's worth your time.
Oh, absolutely.
If anything, just to make this episode of the show make more sense and make us not seem crazy, it's worth one time.
If you've ever watched an Ed Wood movie, like if you know, there's movies out there that are so bad you have to see. This is one of those movies. Like it's like Plan 9 from Outer Space. It's one of those movies that you should watch, or The Room. Like The Room got a lot more publicity recently because what's his name?
I don't know what
James Franco made a movie about making The Room.
Oh.
So it's another one of those examples of it's so bad. The Room is the worst. They say it's the worst movie ever made. It's so bad, but you watch it,
right?
And they're taking it serious. The actors, the producers, everybody's taking it serious. But as an audience member, you don't take it seriously. This is one of those movies. If you watch it not taking it serious, not expecting the Mario movie,
honestly,
you can enjoy it.
Smoke a joint.
Yeah,
relax, get something to eat, and watch this movie. You'll have a good
do some
time.
mushrooms, watch it.
Just,
I actually recommend doing mushrooms and watching it because then it's appropriate for the Mario.
Oh, yeah, like the mushrooms that aren't in the fucking movie. You know, it's fucking Mario.
Because the audience did them all.
Watch it, and then at the end of the movie, if you're like, "What the fuck just happened?" You're not alone.
No,
just that's how you're supposed to feel.
Conflicted.
Good. Don't ever expect another. I have one more movie review. You and I are planning to do in this.
Yeah, another video game.
We won't drop it yet, but it's much. Okay, you know what? We'll drop a hint. I'll drop a hint right now. A teaser. I don't know when it's going to come out. I don't know when this episode will hit the show. But it is about a video game movie. It's Nintendo centric,
but it's not based on a video game.
It's not based on a video game. It's based on a video game console.
Yep.
And the kid from I don't want to say his name specifically because that gives it away, but the Wonder Years kid.
Yeah.
And you all know what it is right now, and it's infinitely better than it's not even good. It's not even good, but it is the greatest commercial. It's all those little plugs that I wanted in this, but we actually get them in this movie.
That movie made me think I could be a professional video gamer.
Of course it did. Yeah.
And then I realized I suck at everything.
You didn't know what the warp whistles were before you fucking ever played the game. We'll get into that. We'll get into that when we do that episode. That's coming down the road. Tyler, thanks for doing this.
Yep.
And you guys, if you didn't hate this, let me know because, and if you did hate it, let me know because I don't know if you guys want more video game movie talk or not, but I don't want to have to sit through too many more crappy video game movies.
I just want to say Adam made cards for Remember the Game. And it's the best cards I've ever seen. Best business cards ever. I'm going to be handing these out anywhere I go.
Thanks, buddy. And you Patreons paid for those, so thank you very much. Patreon plug number 4 for the episode. Thanks, buddy.
Sweet.
Name? Mario. Last name?
Mario.
Okay, what's your name?
Luigi.
Luigi?
No, Luigi Mario.
Okay, look, how many Marios are there between the two of you?
There's 3. It's Mario, and Luigi Mario.
And that's going to do it for this week's episode, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Tyler, thank you so much for coming over talking Mario Brothers with me, the Mario Brothers movie with me. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys are staying safe. Spend some time with your family. Play some video games. And please, I got to beg you one more time. If you're even remotely interested, give it $2 and just try. For $2, you're going to get a full month of Remember the Game Expansion Pass. New episodes every Sunday, including this week's episode where I'm going to rank every core Mario game. And I can't remember if I mentioned it off the top, but I don't want to go back and re-record the 25-minute intro. But we're going to be giving away a Nintendo Switch Lite, assuming that I can find one, with episode 100 to one of our Patreons as well. So go over to patreon.com/remember the game. You can find out all the upcoming details, all the information there. Thanks for listening. Leave us a good review. Tell your friends. I'll be back next week with episode 91, and I'll be back in 4 days with the episode number 1 of Remember the Game Expansion Pass. Take it easy, you guys. I will talk to you again later. Cheers.